Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage I'm going to review this, a Kingbolen BM520 battery tester. Hi all, if like me you're into your Jags, batteries are the bane of your life. The batteries in our car really do need to be in near perfect condition to ensure we don't throw codes and get all sorts of issues. So whenever you're getting a problem with your car, I always say, it's getting a bit of a catchphrase, if the tyres aren't flat and you've not run out of fuel, it's probably the battery. So having a decent battery tester around you is a very, very good thing to have. And Kingbolen were kind enough to offer me the chance to review this new one that they've got. And I'll put links in the description below if you fancy getting one of these, and they have a discount code for our subscribers. So let's crack on and see what this one is all about and what it can do for us. As soon as I share that, I've been a bit remiss in flipping over my calendar, and talking of XK8s, there's a beautiful XKR. Chris May's 2001 XKR coupe pictured on a road trip around the west coast of Ireland. That's our August shot in our calendar. Thanks very much, Chris. Comes in a nice box like that, and the most important thing to register off the box is this will do 6 volt, 12 volt and 24 volt batteries. So it's going to cover off 99% of anything you're going to throw at it. And yeah, it's got all the specs and bits and bobs on here, but the one product feature that is quite nice is it doesn't matter which way round you connect this. You won't damage the device, it'll just get on with it. So that's novel. And when you take it out of the box, and this is not the first time I've seen it, I have had it out of the box, I've got to say it comes in a really nice case. So a lot of cases and little nylon pouches and bits and pieces I dispose of quite quickly because they just add bulk and faff. But that is actually rather nice, and I would be looking to keep this in this. So it's like a hard shell case that's zipped. And when you open it out, rather nice, you've got user manuals. So full one, and a quick start guide. And going to the full one, we find it's well printed, it's got diagrams, pictures, screenshots, nice and clear, written in actual English. Yeah, I've had a read through and can't compliment it enough, really. Also at the back, quite a nice feature, it's got battery specifications. So when you're looking at batteries, people will tell you that, oh, it's a JIS this, it's got this many cold cranking hours, it's got this many amp hours, all that sort of good stuff. And sometimes you're all speaking different languages. This has got a nice little conversion table that shows you specifications, JIS new, JIS old, cold cranking amperes that gives in 3 different formats as well. So yeah, it's got a really useful little table back there. Then goes on to compare DIN and EN and specific and separate. My favourite brand of battery, just a personal thing, Yuasa. It's got its own little table there showing how they specify theirs and how all that works. And it's got a little glossary thing as well. RC is reserve capacity. When you see that stamped on a battery or on the label, what does it mean? CCA, cold cranking amps. CA, cranking amps. So, you know, all of the different acronyms that you hear and associate with batteries are kind of in there. So that is a very nice user manual. Does come with a USB-A to, I think that's something like US Micro. I don't know what the name of that connector is, but it's reasonably common. Lead. But this is self-powered, so you'll not be charging it up. And that is used for putting in an update or anything like that. But it should work straight out of the box. So that's the way we're going to treat things. Quite a neat looking unit. Just the 4 buttons on it. 1 cable coming out the end, going to our 2 crotch clips. It's all wiped clean. It feels reasonably sturdy. Let's see how much lead we have. Okay. So I'd say that's about 600 mil. I could be wrong on that, but it's enough. And as long as your leads separate far enough to get to both terminals at the same time, you know, you don't really need a lot more than that. You can hear it, a good grip to them. And the left leg and the right leg are wired to each other rather than just relying on the fact that there's a spring to connect the jaws or a hinge to connect the jaws. Indeed, the entire clamp itself is a sort of resin material. It's these copper plates. They're going to do the contacting and they're soldered on. So all bodes well. Regular followers of the channel know that I've had battery testers before. I've got some really nice ones and really basic ones. I think one of the things I'm interested in this is it does have quick and easy use, or it has more detailed use, and it's good for doing the batteries in the car, in situ, wired in, starting, or on the bench like this. And of course, I'm getting through batteries like they're going out of fashion at the moment because I'm trying to get 2 non-running Jaguar XK8s back on the road. So this is going to be very useful. So we're going to go for, yeah, that's a really good snarly grip. Combination of good spring pressure and nice sharp clamps. Onto the positive, onto the negative, and bing, it all starts to light up. Now when filming screens, I always have to be so careful because what I can see is not necessarily what you can see. Nice clear display. So we're not touch screen. We've got this up and down control that enables us to scroll through the various features. So we've got check, waveform, playback, records, setup and multimeter. So let's go check. We've only got 2 other buttons on this, return or go back and OK. So very easy to use. We've got a 12 volt battery because it's come from a standard car. We'd like to do a quick test and we'll say out of the vehicle. Is it a regular flooded AGM flat plate, AGM spiral, gel or EFB battery? So most people's conventional batteries will be regular flooded. If you've got a race car, then it's probably a gel. If it's an AGM battery, it'll be plastered all over the battery itself. They are far more common on cars with stop-start technology. So again, regular flooded. Battery type. So what we're doing now is we're looking for a specification, and it gives us a selection there. CCA is not really a specification of a battery, we can give it a feature of the battery. The rest of these are sort of specs that give a whole range of parameters. Now, if I look at the battery we've got on the bench today, it has an EN 750 number, followed by cold cranking amps. We will use this specification to tell the battery tester what it's looking at. So we scroll down to EN and it says 200 EN on there at the moment. We know this is a EN 750. So you can click through or you can press and hold to go faster. We'll go right up the tree. Big batteries on Jags. BM520EN. So what we've got now, very smart, is a simulation of a multimeter screen. I really like that. So what's it telling us? It's telling us that we've got internal resistance of 3.94 milliohms. And in my experience, anything below 5 is good. So that's the resistance to flowing of current through the battery. Battery's got 13.22 volts in it as we speak. The standard is that it should have 750 amps. And I believe this is trying to tell me that it's acting like an EN586 amp. I like that it's just put normal up there. So if you just want to look at this quickly, this is okay. SOH, 61%. So SOH is trying to simulate what it thinks is the battery's health. And it thinks it's about 61% healthy. If we press the up button, it goes to SOC, and that's capacity. So how much of the battery is full, if you like, and it's at 98%. And that makes sense because this is a battery that's been on a trickle charger in my garage and was taken off about an hour ago. So I'd expect it to be quite high. Press it again, we go back to SOH. So as a quick, easy indicator of battery capacity, battery health, what's the voltage in there, this is incredibly straightforward. And because it's literally advertising this fact, I'm going to do something I would never normally do. I'm going to swap the terminals over. What happens if you connect this back to front? Still comes on. Still in vehicle. Still out of vehicle. It's still irregular flooded. Does it remember? Yes, it does. That's good. That's interesting. It's gone down to 58. That's gone to 98, which it was before, but it's saying replacement. Let's switch these back. Okay, 12 volt, out of vehicle, regular flooded, EN 750, and we're back to normal. So I can confirm that you can still use this and you're not going to damage anything if you connect it incorrectly. However, with it incorrectly, it did give an incorrect result. Let's bring the tester out to Sapphire, which has got completely the wrong battery for the car in, but it's running it, it's starting it, or it was. Let's pop that on there. So we've got choices there now because we're in vehicle. Battery test, charging test, startup test, or a load test. Let's do battery test. Please confirm engine is turned off. Yep. It is. Regular flooded. It is. EN. This is rather lower. It's a 560. And it's showing needs replacement. 23%. It's only got 11.9 volts in it. It's got an internal resistance of 8.6 milliohms. And capacity is showing at 0. So that might be a connections thing. Let's just... No. So this battery is toast. It is able to start the car, because this is an easy starter, but not good. Let's go for a charging test. Showing 11.92 volts. And now saying start the engine. You've got reflections. Start the engine, keep 2.5 to 3,500, then press the OK button. So obviously this is in the boot and I'm going to be in the front, so we'll keep the engine going reasonable revs for you see the issues with this car at the moment. Easy starter, but you can tell that the battery's a little lazy, so let's give it the appropriate revs. Very sweet engine. Pop round the back. Stage 1 exhaust on this, by the way, for those who are interested. Press OK. Charging. 14.2 volts when it's loaded, 11.92 unloaded. A ripple of 10 millivolts. The results are normal, so that's good. We're charging well. Let's try the startup test. What's that say? Turn off the engine before entering the test. Now, start the engine. Yep. And it's giving us the time it took to start the engine as 1.042 seconds. And it is a little slow to start. As I say, you can just tell the battery doesn't have the oomph to spin it over as you'd really like. Starting ability is normal. And the voltage whilst it's starting was 10.05 volts. Let's go for a load test. Keep 2 to 2,500 RPM, then press the OK button. Current 14.16, the minimum was 14.13, which is greater than 12.8, so the load capacity is good. So this is working rather well. Let's look at what this other button does. Waveform. And this is producing a graph of voltage against time. And if that was skipping now and again, you'd suspect your alternator was breaking down or there's some other electrical issues. We can also do, because Jag is
move your earth lead around. And there's one under the bonnet on the engine and one lower down on the gearbox, and see if you can make that move. So that's quite useful. We've got playback, waveform playback, waveform 1, OK for replay. So it recorded what it did last time, which means you could show it to a mechanic and it can store several waveforms and you can delete them from its memory. So we can show what's going on. That's quite cool. Records. Last record. So we've got a summary there of all of the key numbers from the last time this was used, which is on this battery, including the result of replacement recommended. Setup, self-testing, beeps, info and theme, so you can change some of the colours and bits and pieces. Happy with that. And last but not least, we have a multimeter which can put on 12 volts, which is giving us that rather cool looking display. Just showing the voltage, so just a different graphic for the voltage really. So what are we thinking of the Kingbolen BM520? Well, first thing to recognise is this does not do what's called a drop test, which is not dropping your battery off the bench. It's where you literally put a massive load on the battery for a few seconds and see how it copes with that. It's almost like short-circuited, isn't it? And in days gone by, you might have gone around a garage and seen two big probes like electric, like chisels, and a bit of insulator and a big ballast resistor between them, and you jab it into the battery and see how it copes with being drained violently. That doesn't do that. In fact, none of the battery testers that I've got do that. And if you're going to regularly test your batteries, it's not really a good idea anyway. You will eventually damage them by doing that, but that's kind of the ultimate test. This uses a process of detecting, predicting the internal resistance to the battery, and then algorithms do everything else. So for the geeks amongst you, yeah, this doesn't do a drop test. Beyond that, I've got to say that does 90% of what most people will ever need. It doesn't need too much interpretation. The little manual gives you lots of good info on what you're seeing and what it means. But essentially, you know, this will say replace battery, which is all a lot of people want to see. And you can do simple charging and starting tests, which can detect issues with your alternator, with your starter motor, etc. It feels good. The leads are good, the clamps are good, I like the case, the price is right, and there's a discount code for subscribers to this channel. It'll be in the link below this video, so go to the description. If you can't see it, click more and you'll see my link to get this at a better price. But yeah, I think that is pretty damn good. And what I'm going to do is I will give this unit, the one I'm pointing at right here, away to one of you nice folks. And all you have to do is, in the comments below this video, tell me why you should get it. It's as simple as that. And all of the ones which are not offensive, I will read through, and I will take one of those at random, and I will on air do some sort of Wheel of Fortune, and we'll pick one of the names and I will send that to one of you guys who tells me why you should get it. And I will take into account all the comments that I get up until the end of August 2025. Obviously, I will be contacting you to give me your home address,
If I don't get a response in an appropriate time scale, then I'll move on to the next one on the list, etc, etc. So be subscribed, get involved with the comments, and click the notification bell so that when I go, Bill Smith, email me here with your address, you do so. Okay then, boys and girls, thank you very much to Kingbolen, and have fun with your Jags, folks. Remember, if it's not got a flat tyre and it hasn't run out of petrol, it's probably the battery.
If you're interested in any of the gadgets, gizmos and tools that I use in my videos, then very often I'll put a link to relevant items in the description below the video, but you can also go to amazon.co.uk/shop/to-the-garage, and that will give you the To The Garage storefront. These are not things I'm selling, it's just a link to all of the Amazon based items that I've bought over the years which are relevant to the channel. Nice little feature. Thank you very much, Amazon. If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos.